Hello students, once again welcome to all of you. In previous lecture we have started the unit first electronic data interchange. Today we will see the topic EDI document, steps to start EDI, EDI standard, EDI and the internet. This is our lecture number 2nd. So let us start. First point is EDI document. Students, an EDI document is an exchange of information between trading partner that contain the same amount of details that is contained inside its paper equivalent. Okay. So there are most common EDI documents given below. First is EDI invoice. An invoice notifies a customer that their order is complete and that you are ready to bill them. An EDI invoice can include information about product and services, renders, the payment term and shipping informations. Companies often send this EDI document at the same time as shipping the customer's product. Next is EDI purchase order acknowledgement. When a supplier receive a purchase order, they will send a purchase order acknowledgement back to the customer to accept or reject the order. When accepting the order, the purchase order acknowledgement will summarize the order in full and confirm that processing of the order is starting. When rejecting the order, the supplier can indicate what information about the order needs to be changed, such as shipping date or product that is out of stock. Next document is EDI advance shipping notice. An advance shipping notice inform your customer that their order is shipping to them. This EDI document contain the specific details of their order, such as a list of items shipped with description and quantities, packaging information, and the estimate delivery date, carrier information and tracking numbers, etc. Next document is EDI payment order. A payment order advice EDI document accompanies an invoice payment. This EDI transaction include the invoice number, total paid amount and banking information when necessary. In most cases, sending a payment order advice transaction effectively close out of the order life cycle. Next is EDI shipping schedule. A shipping schedule transaction set outline the specific requirement for a particular shipment from a supplier. This information include the target shipping schedule, order detail, shipping carrier information and other details regarding the shipment of an order. This EDI document is very important for just-in-time manufacturing, which relies on real-time data to manage accurately inventory levels. Next document is EDI order status inquiries. Okay. In this document, customer will send an order status inquiry to get the update information about the purchase order or select portion of the purchase order. An order status inquiry might request an update about the shipping or of the orders, the status of the product in manufacturing, the quantities of a set of items that are already shipping or other related details. Next is EDI order status report. In this document, an order status report is the responding EDI transaction to an order status inquiry, providing the information requested. This EDI document can also confirm the completion of an order or the completion of the portion of the order and might include the updated shipping information as well. And last but not least, document is EDI warehouse shipping order. A warehouse shipping order provides the instruction to a remote warehouse for the shipment of an order, including which item to ship, item quantities, the target delivery date, shipping information, billing information, and the shipping method. In most cases, the seller uses a warehouse shipping order to instruct the warehouse to ship and the order to the buyers. So all are the EDI documents. Okay. Next point is steps to start EDI. This diagram shows the steps to start EDI. There are 3 steps to sending EDI document. First is prepare the document to be sent, then translate the document into EDI format and transmit the EDI document to your partner. Let us see details of each step. In this diagram, we will see the buyer and vendor. Okay. In between, the formal document is send the EDI encoded and decoded, and in between two EDI partner WAN is here. Okay. And EDI document then also translate the EDI encoded and decoded messages to a vendors. So first step is to collect and organize the data. For example, instead of printing a purchase order, your system create an electronic file with the necessary information to build an EDI document. The source of data and the method available to generate the electronic document can include human data entry through the screen and exporting PC-based data from spreadsheet or the database. Purchasing application software that has built-in interface for the EDI file. So this is a first step, prepare the document to be sent. Then second step, translate the document into EDI format. In this step is to feed your electronic data through translator software to convert your internal data format into EDI standard format using the appropriate segment and the data element. This step specifies mapping expertise in order to define how your internal data is to be mapped to the EDI data. Translation software is available to suit just about any computing environment and budget, from large systems that handle thousands of transactions daily to PC-based software that need only process a few hundreds transactions per week. Alternatively, you can use a translation services of an EDI service provider. In that case, you send your data to the provider who handle translation to and from the EDI format on your behalf. Okay. And the last step, number 3, connect and transmit the EDI document to the business partner. Once business documents are translated to the appropriate EDI format, they are ready to be transmitted to the business partner. You must decide how you will connect to each of your partner to perform that transmission. Okay. So this is the steps to start the EDI. It is also important part of the electronic data interchange. Okay. Next topic is EDI standard. Students, EDI standard are requirement for the format and content of EDI business document. This determine the correct order and location of the unit of data in an EDI document. Following are commonly used EDI standards. First, EDI fact. The EDI fact standard is based on syntactic rule for structuring the message that allow the exchange of this data electronically in multi-country and multi-industry environment. Second is VDA, stands for Verbund der Automobile Industries. It is a German automotive EDI standard widely used by the German automobile companies for the transfer of their business document. This EDI standard was very much popular in Germany. Though they do not contain all the characteristics of a typical EDI message, the UK automobile supply industry accepted it. Next is ODT, Initial stands for Organization for Data Exchange by Teletransmission in Europe, an interest group representing the automotive industry in Europe that develop tools and provide recommendation to improve processes associated with supply chain management in this sector. Next is ANCOM. This standard was originally conceived in 1987 by an General Assembly and was redeveloped then emerging international UN standard. ANCOM was originally developed for a retail sector and the subsequently grew to become the most widely used UN substance. This is now found in a variety of other industry sectors such as healthcare, construction and publishing. Next standard is ANSI X12. EDI ANSI X12 stands for Electronic Data Interchange American National Standard Institute X12. The EDI ANSI X12 standard was developed to grow the use of EDI to exchange the information electronic between businesses. The EDI ANSI X12 standard is most prevalent in the United States and has counterpart used in other part of the world like the UN EDIFACT standard, that is the equivalent of EDI ANSI X12 outside the US. Next is HIPAA. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act was enacted by the US Congress in 1996. A key component of HIPAA is the establishment of national standard for electronic healthcare transactions and national identifiers for providing health insurance plan and the employers. Last one is the TRADACOM. Stands for Trading Data Communication Standard, is an early standard for EDI and was primarily used in UK retailer sector. It was originally introduced in 1982 as in the implementation of UN syntax. One of the most use of EDIFACT, it was the maintained and extended by the UK Article Numbering Association, now called GS1 UK. Okay, so these all the EDI standards. Next topic is EDI and Internet. EDI has a lot in common with the Internet. EDI relies on standard to make sure that information can be passed between trading partner regardless of a computer and software that is used by each trading partner. The biggest difference between the Internet and EDI is that EDI is more of an application than it is a network. EDI is a very reliable and secure method of electronic sending business document from one company computer directly to other company system. EDI over the Internet is an open standard that provides data security and message validation. Next topic is merits of EDI. First is lower operating cost. Students, EDI lower your operating expenditure by at least 35% by eliminating the cost of paper, printing, reproduction, storage, filling, postage and document retrieval. It reduces administrative resource and maintenance cost. EDI support can lower other costs as well as such as the logistic who reduce and finds 12% by switching to more efficient EDI solution. Next is improve business cycle speed. Time is of the essence when it comes to order processing, because it allows for process automation that significantly reduce, if not eliminate, time delay associated with manual processing that require you to enter, file and compare the data. Inventories management is streamlined and made more efficient with real-time data update. Next is reduce human error. Aside from their inefficiency, manual processes are also highly prone to error, often resulting from illegible handwriting, keeping and re-keeping error, and incorrect document handling. EDI drafting improves an organization data quality and eliminate the need to rework order by delivering at least 30% to 40% reduction in transaction with error. Next is increase business efficiency. Because human error is minimized, organization can benefit from increased level of efficiency. Rather than focusing on manual and tedious activities, employees can devote their attention to more important value-adding tasks. EDI can also improve an organization customer and trading partner relationship management because of faster delivery of goods and service as well. Next is enhanced transaction security. EDI enhances the security of transaction by securing sharing data across a wide variety of communication protocol and security standard. Next topic is limitations of EDI. First limitation is too many standard. There are too many standard bodies developing standard document format for EDI. For example, your company may be following X12 standard format while your trading partner follows the EDI fax standard format. So, it is used too many standard. Next is proper backup required. EDI needs constant maintenance. Robust data backup must be in place in the event of system crash. So that's why proper backup is required. EDI is too expensive. Some companies are only doing business with others who use EDI. If a company wants to do business with other organization, they have to implement an EDI program. This expense may be very costly for small companies. Fourth limitation is limit trading partners. Students, some large companies tend to stop the business with companies who don't follow with EDI. For example, Walmart is only doing business with other companies that use EDI. The result of this is limited group of people you can do business with. Okay, so these are the limitations of EDI. Students, today our first unit was completed, electronic data interchange. In next lecture, we will start the second unit, commerce process and payment solution. Thank you.